Hello friends, welcome back to my session. So today we're going to check the topic that is requirement gathering and analysis basics. So I will be going to take the mobile GPT project. So let's suppose we're going to take two testers join the same project and both know automation, both know Selenium and both know API testing. So after 3 months, one writes clear testable scenarios, the other struggles to even start testing. So what changed? How they collect and understand requirements. So today I will be going to show you how doing this properly turns QA from reactive tester into proactive problem solver. So what is actually requirement gathering and analysis? So requirement gathering is something like collecting what the software should do, and requirement analysis is understanding why and how it should work. So it's not just click a button and check result, but why does this feature exist? Who will use it? What can go wrong? So if we take the mobile GPT example, so let's suppose feature is to recommend phones to the users. So requirement is system should suggest phones based on user budget, usage and preference. So without analyzing the requirement, you just test blindly, you might miss important business rules and users get frustrated. So I will take the first step. Let's suppose if the tester is testing without requirement analysis. So again the same scenario, that is mobile GPT recommends phones. So what you will do, you just test as a tester. If you don't have a requirement and you haven't done any requirement analysis, you will just check API is returning 200, that is status code 200 success. You will going to check the phone list shows and basically all the filters are working fine or not, and test case got passes. So but user budget is, let's suppose, 10,000 rupees and system is recommending 80,000 rupees phone. So the problem here is you only checked does it work. So technically it is working, but business logic users are totally unhappy. So the result is testing is blind and you can easily miss serious issues which can impact your business. Now, if you have a requirement, if you have done the requirement analysis and if you do the testing with the requirement analysis, so now you read and analyze the requirements carefully. So don't just click and check. Think like a real user and the business. So you're going to check budget rules. If a user's budget is 10,000 rupees, the system should not recommend phones that cost 80,000 rupees. If it does, this is a critical defect, that is P1, priority 1, because it can frustrate the user and hurt business credibility. Second thing is, we'll check the phone type preference. So does the user want a gaming phone, a basic phone or a camera focused phone? So all the recommendations should match the preferences. We'll also check the user history. So past purchases or usage patterns should guide recommendations. So if the system ignores history, it might suggest irrelevant or duplicate products. So the result is, when user budget is actually 10,000 rupees and system is suggesting 80,000 rupees, we need to raise a P1 defect. And if testing is smart and requirement driven, so not just checking it if buttons or APIs work. Okay, so key point is always think about what is correct for the user and the business as well, not just technical correctness. Now I will be going to take one banking app example. So let's suppose the feature is to transfer the money. Fine. So if you don't have a requirement, you will be going to test it blindly and you will just check that transfer succeeds. Now a QA who just check after the requirement analysis, so it will going to check the daily transfer limit, the beneficiary verification, the fraud checks and the regulatory rules. So the outcome will be you catch important defects before they cause trouble. Now I will be going to take another example that is of e-commerce. So let's suppose the feature is checkout and discount. So if you test it without any requirement, you will be going to test it blindly. So total amount looks fine. And after requirement analysis, QA will also be going to check the discount rules, tax rules for different states, coupons applied before or after tax, and the stock availability. So the outcome will be testing is intelligent, it reduces revenue loss, it avoids complaints from the end user. Now, how to use ChatGPT to actually help the requirement analysis? So what we can do, we can just open the chat openai.com, fine, and what we can do, we can just copy our requirement, fine. So we just be going to copy our requirement. So what we gonna do, just a minute. So what you will be going to do, you just do one thing, just go to that particular, okay, and we'll just copy this requirement, fine. We'll go here and we just paste our requirement, okay. Now what the requirement is, Mobile-GPT recommends phones to users based on budget, okay, users pattern and past purchase history, okay. Now discounts apply for selected users, okay. Now after copying my requirement, just ask ChatGPT here, okay, just ask ChatGPT here, generate test scenarios and edge cases for this requirement. Now just click this and let's see the output. So you could see here ChatGPT instantly gives output with these test cases. So user enter a budget range 10,000 to 20,000, only phones within the range are recommended. User enters exact budget 15k. So now phone priced less than equal to 15k will appear, fine. So you could see here, user budget exceeded users pattern mismatch, okay. If you could see here, users pattern, okay, if mismatches, okay. And what happens if discount not applied for selected user, fine. See discount eligibility, and also if you could see here the past purchase history, fine. Now you can copy these and create your test cases, okay. You can just copy these particular 4 recommendations, that is recommendations based on budget, fine, recommendations based on users pattern, recommendation based on past purchase history, fine, and on the discount eligibility, fine. It also shown me integration test scenarios, fine, with different devices like gaming phones under 20,000 or Samsung phones prioritized, and also it has given us the edge cases, fine. So you can use this team. So you can copy this and create your own test cases. So think of it like asking ChatGPT to just brainstorm all possible ways the system could fail, so you don't miss anything, fine. So now simply just moving ahead, I just gave an example how to master the requirement analysis. So you just talk to product managers and business analysts, read the requirement documents carefully, always ask why a feature exists, identify edge cases and risks, map user flows and business rules, and use ChatGPT as I've shown you to generate test scenarios and spot the gaps. Now, finally, the interview winner answer. If asked, why is requirement analysis important in QA? So, don't say it helps understand features. Say this: requirement analysis ensures risk based testing. It finds incomplete or unclear requirements. It catches the business critical defects early. It improves coverage and aligns software with business. And AI like ChatGPT can make this faster by generating scenarios and spotting the gaps. Now, to conclude this team, without requirement analysis, QA just follows instructions, and with requirement analysis, QA protects users and the business. So tools makes you a tester, but analysis makes you a real problem solver, and AI makes you supercharged. So I hope you really enjoyed this session. You just got the chance to check how you can create the all possible scenarios using ChatGPT. And if you really like this session, do stay tuned for more upcoming videos. Thank you everyone.